All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Kanipa with Macquarie, Standing Bear, Soda Tri Fishing Lake First Nation, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty, Fort Territory, Anishinaabe, 60 Scoop Survivor, um, published author, and it's an honor for me to sit here with you in the morning and circle here. We're at Treaty 4 territory, and welcome to We Are the Medicine Circle, which really implies that we are the medicine. That means it implies we're all equal. That also implies that I'm not leading this thing. This is not a. I'm not a preacher. You're not my flock. I'm not a pastor. This is not like anything like that. We are sitting in the same circle like this. I'm sitting right next to you. I am in the service of the Great Spirit, and I'm in the service of this circle here, the Hollow Bones type thing. We'll go over that in just a moment. But most importantly, if no one said that they love you today, I love you very much, which really just means, and I want you to live a really beautiful, powerful life connected to all those beautiful, powerful things. Beginning with spirit, everything begins with spirit, right? Everything. That's the way the medicine wheel faces the east. New beginnings. So we start the day understanding that we are walking with and for spirit, first of all. So anyway. Uh, yeah, so one little housekeeping announcement. This is really important that if we have a lag in the audio or we get the spinning wheel or anybody freezes, just not going nowhere. If I get kicked off, then I'm going to hit that play button again, and we're going to pick up right where we left off, and we're going to finish out the hour. It's really important that we start what we finish. So even though technical difficulties, we had technical difficulties a couple days ago, or last week, or 2 weeks ago, I just hit that play button again, and we just started right where we left off. Yeah. So yeah. So. Yeah, the other thing too is there was a comment yesterday. Like all these comments aren't like bad. Like I'm sorry if I gave you the impression like all these comments are bad, but no, some of these comments are really beautiful and really helpful. And just one of those comments was that person appreciated uh, like the fact that we can laugh here, right? And that's a beautiful, beautiful just comment. We take this thing called life really seriously, right? But to take it seriously, that also includes laughter too. So we laugh, we cry, we just live a good life, man. When we sit in this circle, right? And this is another question. Like how did we start this circle? Well, this circle started for me when I started to sit with grandfather Tony over 30 years ago. So this is a crescendo, just kind of like here we are, beginning with frozen up, beginning with grandfather Tony, and here we are. So let's and also uh, shifting gears a little bit. I am on two platforms too. So if there's another comment, some people don't like the Facebook platform, just go over to YouTube. Standing Bear, the author. That's my channel, and we do the same live here. I'm looking at two cameras, so if you see me going like this, that's what I'm looking at. I'm acknowledging both things. So that's your other option too. We're looking at other options too, as far as kind of enlarging our platform. So any ideas would be welcome. So anyway, let's begin with a good smudge here. Um, let us thank God. You know, this is a teaching. This is an old teaching that Grandfather Tony that I was reminded of recently by an elder named Martin, and he talks about same thing Grandfather Tony did. Building a good relationship with those things that give us life, and sage is one of those things that give us life. So it's not all air, water, fire. It's not only that. This is also life is the tobacco and the sage too. And right here we're using California white sage. But hey, today I really went out of my way to just say I just said thank you. to the morning sage that we use here. So thank you to the morning sage, to the morning for cleansing us too. We can we can be grateful too, right? So let's be grateful to those things that give us life, including the tobacco and the morning sage. So thank you for that. Thank you for that teaching, grandfather and Martin. So thank you for that. And also, is it that window open? Okay. So, and as always, let's keep. We need a volunteer, so just give me a little heart, give me a heart, give me a little thumbs up if you can keep this smoke going throughout the morning circle in remembrance. But there's an elder grandmother out in Vancouver. It's really important that we recognize her, right? The grandmothers come up with some really beautiful, powerful stuff. This is one of them. So let's be generous and recognizing the power of the grandmothers and suggesting that. When a grandmother suggests something like this, what she's really doing is she's suggesting life, right? She's suggesting, well, this is a way that we celebrate life. And so in this case, it's an honoring, remembering respectfully, in a very loving, beautiful way, the residential school children that have never come home. I have relatives that have never come home from the residential schools, and there's not one member of my family that hasn't been affected. So it's not like it's like way out there. I think everybody in Indian country has had somebody affected. That's a pretty safe thing to say. So thank you. Anyway, no one said that they love you today. Love you very much, man. I'm just excited for life today, man. I really am. I'm just like, this is like, this whole thing just gets better, right? It just gets better, right? So, anyway, let's make it better today. Let's say some good prayers. Let's be grateful and thankful for the tobacco. Thank you for a little pinch goes a long way. A little help from above here to help guide us. We talked about that yesterday to let us see a little bit farther than we normally can without it. So let us begin with spirit. Let's begin with prayer. If it doesn't begin with spirit, it doesn't begin. If it doesn't begin with prayer, then it doesn't begin. So let's begin in a good and beautiful way. Amen. Wichiagna. Kitchimana 2. Chi Megwich for our breath. Chi Megwich for our circle. Chi Megwich for our life. Chi Megwich for this day. Chi Megwich for Mother Earth. Chi Megwich for all those beautiful, beautiful things. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We come here today. We mean no harm in what we do. We come here in a good way, humble way, and sacred way. We come here to walk in alignment, to understand, to walk with and understand that we can become better aligned with the ancient sacred agreements, harmony and balance, the 7 sacred teachings for the medicine. We can align ourselves better with life, and that's why we are here. We may come for many reasons, but celebration of a life and alignment, that is the first reason. We are grateful for our last breath, and we are hopeful for our next, and we live in that beautiful place in between. We come here to celebrate life, not just our life, because that would be selfish. Let us be selfless. Let us come here and celebrate all life as if it is, and it is a part of ours. Like the standing nations, the ones that offer the world breath. Let's say thank you. Let us say thank you, thank you. To the fish nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the water, because we are struggling with that. We are struggling with having clean water. So we say thank you. To the winged nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the wind and air. To the creepy crawlers, the ones who teach us how to stay close and grounded to Mother Earth. To the 4-legged communities, the ones who teach us and offer us so much to and for our humanity, we say thank you. And of course to other 2-legged nations, circles, and tribes, where we understand that you are our teachers as well. which makes our ears and our hearts very happy. We celebrate those things that give us life: air, water, fire, and earth. We celebrate the seven directions. We celebrate the ones that have come before us. And remember, if they are our relatives here, which all life is, then they are our relatives over there. We are here to make good relations. So we come from a million points of light and love. We come from tremendous courage and great prayers. We do not come from a lesser place. We come from a place that is awesome and full of power. And let us remember that as we move forward in this circle today and in our spiritual, emotional, mental, physical growth. Let us remember this. And let's also acknowledge, and it has to be acknowledged, that some of our two-legged ancestors were hurt, wounded, abused, and traumatized, and they passed this along to us. A time of great sorrow, a time of healing, that we understand during parts of our healing it is okay not to be okay. But it's also okay to understand that those wounds that they gave to us were not for us to carry, but for us to heal from. There's a big difference between the two. We are here to help each other heal from those. And we don't do it in a selfish way. We do it in a selfless way. And the way we do that is we think about, we pray for the next 7 generations, and our healing is a direct representation of our prayers for the next 7 generations. For we only borrow this earth from our children, and our children are only loaned to us. So we are the intersection between two unseen worlds, two vast and mighty and powerful unseen worlds, that they can hear and see everything that we say. This is a great time for an opportunity to heal and be responsible for our own healing, responsible for Mother Earth, to bring back the traditions and the values and the ways of Mother Earth, the sacred laws, living the sacred laws in here, so can go to them in the future. That is the way. And there are beautiful teachings along this way that our ancestors have offered us, have given us a well-worn trail. It's called the Red Road, the road of wellness, the road of all people and all life and all things, to make us remember that we are all of value. This is the road of harmony and balance. When we walk with these spiritual laws, humility, love, truth, honesty, respect, courage, and wisdom. When we walk with these, we will remember that we too are of value, that we have something to bring to this world, that we are not here to suffer. We are not here to make enemies or to be enemies. For that is what the other world does, but not over here. So let us come here in a beautiful and sacred way. Let us sit here, Wankapek, to sit in a sacred way, to listen in a sacred way. Let us remember that we are all flowers, that we all bloom from the inside. We're all different sizes, colors, shapes. We're all different ages, but yet we are all flowers. And let us understand this as we move forward. And let's be gentle with each other. And let's be gentle with that prayer, the first prayer that we are all sitting with, the prayer that is in our hearts of harmony and balance. Let us remember that we are part of that, and we are here to be the peacemakers, not the troublemakers. So let us come here, and let us be gentle with each other. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Kaneepa with Macwa, and if no one said that they love you today, I love you very much. And it's just, again, an honor, a real honor for me to come here with you, to sit here with you, to be of service to you and for you and all that great stuff. And so we're having a little problem with the audio or with the thing. So just stay with us. Like if there's a little spinning wheel, just know I'm not going anywhere. So Anyway, let's move on. Hollow bones. Hollow bones. So that's why we're here. That's a hollow bones prayer that we just finished. And then the whole reason why we're here is because of the hollow bones. That there's um, life. Life is most important. That life force that creates it, that comes from the Great Spirit, the first prayer, the first fire. It flows through us all. It looks a little different through everyone and everything, even among our own species. It looks a little different, and that's okay. We honor all life as a part of ours, right? That's a hollow bones prayer, and there was a person out there. You guys come up with some really beautiful comments. So, one of those comments was this person's really shy to share her definition of hollow bones, and she asked, "Well, could you ask?" Because she's just just having a moment, I guess, and so she had requested, "Can you request again?" Um, to share, to put in the feed right here your definition of hollow bones, particularly the sacred feminine. She specifically asked for that. I said, okay, I can ask for that. You can also ask too, but she's a little shy, so that's okay. We love you, and that's okay. So and I think I saw her in the feed here this morning. So she is here. She asked me yesterday, so she is here this morning. So she asked not to be called out either, and I think I just did, but at least I didn't name her name. So anyway, I love you. So if you could share your, especially sacred feminine, because she feels less than, right? She feels like her voice doesn't matter or value or it doesn't count. So she just said, "Hey, I would really love some other ideas from what the sacred feminine looks like." And I said, "That's really awesome." So anyway, the hollow bones, that life force comes in two parts. We are supposed to live in full circle. That means we are to equally receive life, accept life gracefully with gratitude and thank yous, right? And then we are supposed to offer that life gracefully with thank yous and gratitude, right? That two parts of that you can write down too. I need you to write that down. So, we live in a colonial world where we're just a world of takers. Now is not fast enough. I need more than you. I'm better than you. I'm more right than you do. That's like the sickness from there, and that's completely BS. There's a friend of mine who I'm going to see in Hungary in a couple months, and he had mentioned about the being argumentative, right? And like that was a great commentary this morning. And there was a person that asked me last week, and kind of bringing it all together. It's just like, well, we live in an adversarial world, right? So that's Democrat, Republican, like all this liberal, conservative, and trying to find that balance and right, who's wrong. And when we're trying to find who's right, who's wrong, that creates an adversarial atmosphere, and that's not cohesive to living a good. That's not cohesive to living a peacemaker life, because somebody's always wrong, right? So what we do is we simply align ourselves with that beautiful life and all life, and then we will always be correct. We'll always be happy, and that's why we are here. Okay, so ancestors and elders, if you want to write your specific elder, that's okay. You don't need to ask my permission, so please just write down. I'm so grateful for elder so and so or grandmother or so and so. It doesn't matter. So thank you to Tony Stonehawk. I've been with him for 30 years now. I've been walking the red road for about 30 years now, and it's just a beautiful way to live. Beautiful and honor. It's really traditional that we honor the ones that have come before. So thank you to all the men and women over at Fishing Lake First Nation and the Muslims, the Cocoms who have guided me in a really good and beautiful way. And thank you to all those other men and women who have sat with medicine around the world who have also guided me in a really good and beautiful way. Okay, circle medicine. No one's in front of us, no one's behind us, no one's above us, no one is below us. We are all equal here. we're all equal here. Like other than that definition, there was a comment again the other day. It said, "Can you expand on that?" I said, well, there's really nothing to expand other than we're all equal. Let's just sit with that, right? So we had a little bit of a conversation recently about like, what if you're coming from the white? You know, well, you're still equal here. You know, what if you're Wayne? What if I'm a half breed? Like, well, half a patch you, you're still equal here. Okay, what if I'm a Catholic refugee? I feel less than, well, you're still equal here. What if I'm Jewish? That was a comment from like last month. Well, I'm Jewish here. I mean, just like, well, you're still equal here. Okay, what about the Beavers and the Bears? Well, they're still equal here. It's kind of like, okay, well, you're still equal. That's not something you're just going to have to accept, right? And just it's kind of like accepting that we love you and that we want you to live a really good, happy life. Well, you have to accept that. And some people have real struggle with that, right? Hey, I just want you to be happy, right? I love you, right? Well, I'm this, I'm that. Well, okay, just accept the fact that we want you to be happy. How about that? So, anyway, okay, sacred feminine. All right, we talk about this every day. Something, I write a script out every day, and I sit here and pray with, as part of my routine, and this comes up every day. The sacred feminine, we can't talk about this enough. That's why we bring it up here. As part of the preamble, you are powerful, beautiful, and sacred. Right? Just know that coming from that colonial world, you are marginalized. There's an agenda often women feel, because of that thing, that sexual thing, right? And over here, that this is not part of that conversation, right? That thing, it's just not part, right? Just know that you are beautiful, powerful, and that you are sacred, right? You have given yourself to be the life givers, right? Right, the life givers. You have that beautiful womb space, which means you carry that energy, right? You continue to carry that energy into walk. So we are guided by you. That's one of those things that would happen when the invasion started to happen, when the Europeans started to come over here and invade Turtle Island, is that we switched from the matriarchal to the patriarchal, which means the chief system came into place. The man on man, men talk with men, men make decisions. Well, that's a really, that's not part of, that's not part of the sacred circle. Now it becomes something else, right? And we are still recovering from that something else. So we are here to honor you, to love you, to know, to tell you that you are beautiful, powerful, and sacred. Okay, question of the day. Please keep your questions, concerns, and comments coming. This seems to be kind of like a recurring theme over I don't know, the last little while. The basic, and please keep your questions, concerns, and comments coming. I do not guarantee that I will get around to all of them. I will try my very best to get around to all of them, but sometimes, especially if I do a lot of traveling. So just kind of re-ask the question. So couple re-ask this question, which is absolutely fine. Thank you for your love and, your patience. I get like 20, 30 comments, questions a day. So it's just like if I miss a day, then I'm like way behind. So like I missed like a month. So you can imagine what, Anyway, so and this is kind of like a generalized, we'll kind of fit in all these kind of questions and comments. And so what happens if we disagree with an elder? Right. Yeah. Um, uh, that could look like a lot of things, right? Say we're new to the Red Road, and then there's an elder there, and everybody says, well, talk to this guy, talk with that grandmother, talk with that grandfather, and then they do something or say something, that could be perceived as inappropriate, right? Well, first of all, you know, right off the first thing that comes to mind is, like if we have a specific, it's more traditional, right? So take a little tobacco, pray with it, and before we approach, this is the preamble to this comment, right? Before the disagreement, what we're supposed to do, and this will smooth over a lot of those. I'm not saying all, but I'm saying a lot of those. Those maybe concerns that you may have, like if there's a specific issue that needs to be addressed, right? Um, you know, make the offerings, right? Make a little offering tobacco up here, up here in Treaty 4, and then there's a lot of like cigarette packs that go back and forth, and that's fine. A little bit in the southern prairies, and they make little medicine bundles, little packages, and that's fine too. But the main thing is offer tobacco. Put your prayers in there. Say, I have a question. This is my question. State it clearly, right? And then here's like the other thing too is the traditional teaching is that they don't have to accept it, right? Just because we offer it doesn't mean we don't have to accept it. Other situations as elders that I have brought tobacco to that said that needs more prayer. I'm not accepting this at that time. At this time, I'm like, okay, and this is not like something bad. It's just the elder recognizes that this is a place of more prayer too. So just offer that prayer. Okay, so now we're in a situation. Maybe the elder did something wrong. Well, let's remember, right? Not all elders are perfect. Not every elder has had the same teaching, right? Maybe your elder comes from a different tradition and their teachings are a little different, right? And Grandfather Tony is really beautiful, powerful, gentle teachings. Well, a lot of indigenous tribes, and their teachings aren't so gentle. It's like this way. Like I've been around some elders where they actually have a little stick, and if you do something wrong, they kind of whack you with it, right? And like that's not my one. Thank God that wasn't like that wasn't the way grandfather taught me, like, because I made a lot of mistakes, right? I made a lot of mistakes around the sweat fire, the sweat lodge and the fire, and a lot of mistakes. And thank God Grandpa Tony didn't come up and like give me a little whack every time. But there's some elders that do that, and so that's not only physical, but that's like that's spiritual too. They give you a little whack, or they're kind of aggressive in some way, or they kind of rub us the wrong way. And sometimes, and it's okay to say that elder is not for me, right? That elder's, that elder's not for me, But in any case, I would still offer that elder a great thank you. Thank you, because having that elder understand, hey, I understand that you are not my elder, right? You can still go up there and thank him for everything that they have taught you, right? That means you're tying it off in a really good way, because we don't want to leave adversarial, right? We don't, really piss me, this elder really pissed me off, and I'm not going to go up there, I'm just really ignore him, just like, it's kind of like for a reason or for a season type thing, right? I'm really super fortunate that I got that creator put me in a position with Grandfather Tony for 30 years. I can't believe I've been sitting when, this is one of the only, I've known this guy for Grandpa Tony Pops, I love this guy, but went for 30 years. I couldn't imagine having any other elder, but sometimes, remember, Creator is putting us in a very beautiful, the best position possible, right? Remember this prayer, and write this prayer down. Creator's putting us in the very best possible situation to grow, right? And just because maybe there's an elder there that we have outgrown, right? It's okay. Maybe there's somebody, so it's like kind of like saying, okay, make the offering here. There you go. Thank you for everything you've taught me. Right? Thank you. Let's stay in communication, and then just move on. You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer anything, right? Just say, hey, look, like if you want to be adversarial, saying, look, I'm moving on. And that's it, right? You know, just say, hey, just gracefully move on. Yeah, that's all you have to do. Like one season doesn't yell at, the medicine wheel. One season doesn't yell at, the season before. And then I'm through with you, man. I'm done. I'm just like, we don't do it. We just gracefully, peacefully, gently, compassionately, move on. Maybe, and here's like the other thing. Maybe that's the medicine they need to hear, right? As we grow spiritually, we grow in, we grow into, we grow through, and then we grow out of, right? Right. So let's be really gentle with this, and at the end of that conversation, just say I love you, man. Just say I love you. Just say I love you. Go up to that elder, say, look, I love you. Thank you. Thank you. And that ties it off really well, right? Then that enables you to move on, because if we move on in a bad way, then we're always kind of looking back and just being like, you know what, that means bring it back. I'm so careful about that. You know what that elder did. I was doing it, and then there's like that grumbling, and that really gets in the way of our future growth. But until we tie it off properly, take that back, but tie it off properly and say, hey, here, thank you. Thank you for all your teachings. I love you. I love you. And then that's it. That's it. That's the way. And, and really, a couple things peripheral that we kind of need to talk about is, elders are elders when you call them an elder, right? Okay. Just because any other is kind of like, because now if an elder tells you, well, I'm your elder, you have to respect me. It's kind of just like, well, we're coming into some areas where, hey, we should be acting like an elder. You move on, I'm here for you. And the really true elder says, I am not. This is what Grandfather Tony did. I was talking to a friend about this the other day. The true elder says, I am not looking for students. I'm looking for replacements. Right? Right. I'm looking for replacements. Right. And here's, and I was praying about this before, this question, because it just seems to come in over and over again. So I took some time for this. Also, there was a situation that this is one of the great. And this is a really beautiful. It pissed me off, right? It really pissed me off. It was like 20 years ago, and we were going up to. I was in Florida, and I was going up to this lodge in Boca. And there was this woman there who had a circle, right? Who invited elders into her physical place, and there was a lodge there, and she was trying to get her community to rebuild her sweat lodge. It was falling apart, and then Tony. So she finally called Tony and said, well, because Tony had guys like me who would cut willows. Tony would call me up and say, well, I need to. Would cut willows for a lodge or cut willows for prison, and then a bunch of us would show up just because we wanted to support Tony, honor Tony. So anyway, this woman called Tony up and said, hey, the lodge needs to be rebuilt, right? And so Tony said, give us a call. So we're going to rebuild the lodge. We're like, okay, we'll show up. So we showed up that morning, and building a lodge is takes an entire day, because we start with the pipe ceremony, because we don't go and take life without explaining why, right? Right. So we don't just go harvest the willows just because we need the willows. That would be selfish. We want to be selfless. So we do that pipe ceremony right at sunrise and say, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. So it's really important that we explain to Spirit what we're doing, how we're doing it, and why we're doing it. And that you can write down, right? So anyway, we did that. We collected and we harvested, and then we went over to her place up in Boca, and then we built the lodge, and then we were finished, and it was an all-day thing. I don't think we even jumped in the lodge, because usually we do at least one round for a birthing lodge, but I don't think we even did that. But anyway, we were all kind of sitting around there. There's about 5 or 6 of us, and it's hustle all day. It's a hustle all day. So water. We had water there, and she said, make sure you clean up. And so, we cleaned up, and we were feeling really good. The next day, I got a phone call from that woman and saying, how could you? How dare you? I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah. You told me you would clean up after the whole thing, and you left like 4 water bottles in the center of the picnic table. I'm like, what do you mean? We just left 4? Well, they're empty. So I had to throw them out. And I said, well, okay. Well, we built you, an entire sweat lodge. It took all day. Maybe no, that's really disrespectful. And I said, well, why don't you call Tony? Why don't you call Tony and talk to him? Well, I respect Tony. I don't respect what you did. I'm just like, okay. So now I'm like livid, right? Now I'm like livid. I just, I clicked off. I said, Tony. I called up Tony. 2 seconds later, Tony picked up and said, can you believe? And I'm just like mouthing off. I'm like cursing. I'm like, can you believe this one? Blah, 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 blah. So it's like, and just Tony kind of laughed, right? And he goes, he called me Morning Eagle. He said, Morning Eagle, some things we just have to let go right away. And so he turned that beautiful moment into a beautiful teaching. And so with the elders bringing this full circle of something, we just have to let it go right away. Right. And sometimes, and this is really an unpopular opinion in Indian countries, but sometimes elders, they're not elders, they're just old. Right. And elders are sometimes the sickest people out there. Right. Just because they're old doesn't mean they've been walking the red road, and they've been aligning their prayers, their thoughts, their ideas with, life. Sometimes, they're just like that, right? And I have run into that, and they're just old and angry, right? And outside, and elders are allowed to have moments too, right? Elders aren't perfect, so don't expect, elders to be absolutely perfect, right? And again, a couple of things, right? Always thank him no matter what, right? That's one. Just thank him for one, and you can move on no matter what, And usually, my experience is that at the end of all of that, like there's another opportunity to grow, and it could be another elder, waiting there for you, so you don't have to sit there and be pissed off with your current elder. Just like say thank you and move on. And, that's okay too. It's just like the seasons. Elders are just like, it's okay to move on, but move on in a beautiful and graceful way. So anyway, I have run away. I love you. I love you guys. I know I'm going to get a bunch of comments about I love you guys. I love you guys. And that's not to say that we don't stop loving them too, right? You can send them, if they pissed you off or did something wrong or said something or, misstep, right? Our job, like everything else, is to love them anyway. Sometimes the roles reverse, right? Sometimes we are the elders, right? Just like, hey, look, take that teaching and then offer them the same teaching, right? Hey, we're supposed to love everybody all the time, Sometimes elders create, if you're kind of adversarial, they're like our enemy or we're angry, well, that's a situation for us to pray for them more, right? Saying, look, I am sending specific prayers to, this elder, this elder, this elder. So, anyway, I have run way over on my question of the day. Please keep your questions and comments coming. Do not guarantee I will get around to all of them, but okay, so what we'll do here, moving around along, we only have a few minutes. Okay, so wishes from the Hollow Bone, June 25th. So that's what we're going over to. We're having a lot of wildcard days. Maybe we'll try to get back on track. Probably not. So what we're going to do here is we're going to read this. We're going to read this a couple times, develop a general impression. That's simply a starting point. There's about 25 of us, 24 of us here. So we're going to be all over the map when we read this. This is not about right and wrong, but the beautiful thing is that we'll all be growing and growing together. And when we do that, that means alignment of our understanding, right, of the basic teaching here. And these are just basic teachings, right? So, Whispers from the Hollow Bone, June 25th. Mother has eyes and sees and hears everything. Her heartbeat lives inside us. She understands touch. She has feelings and dreams. She is an extension of us, and we are an extension of her. Wow. Okay. Okay, so we've had a really good meditation. Had a really powerful meditation. Okay, so what does this mean to you? What is this speaking to you? How is this just sit there, kind of with your eyes closed? Actually, let me read this again. Kind of just sit here like with your eyes closed, and just kind of follow my voice. Mother Earth has eyes and sees everything, and hears. Hold on. Mother Earth has eyes, sees and hears everything. Her heartbeat lives inside us. She understands touch, has feelings and dreams. She is an extension of us, and we are an extension of her. That's absolutely beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Right. That's right. Right. Mother Earth medicine wheel. Let's put that together. This is just, let's jump right in here. This is beautiful and powerful. This is this should be empowering, right? Because everything that she's offering, we can become. Write that down. Write that down. Everything she has, she is offering, and we can become, right? We can become that beautiful thing. We can become that nurturing presence. She's that spiritual entity, right? This medicine wheel, spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. We always talk, Grandfather Tony always talked about mirroring each other, right? We mirror each other, right? How is that different from Mother Earth? We are mirrored. That's what it says here, extension, mirror. You can put, interchange that, right? It's interchangeable, right? Right? We mirror each other. And this leads me to the Marianne Williamson quote, and I'm going to butcher this quote, and if one of you can find it, I just lost it. We are powerful beyond measure. That quote, and if someone could, and one of you could put that in there. Our greatest fear is not that we are weak, but we are powerful beyond measure, and this is really pertinent to this, right? When we sit with Mother Earth, for she is both mother and grandmother. Right. And I need you to write that down. That's how she is both mother and grandmother. She's powerful beyond measure. Right. 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 She is powerful beyond measure. So now we're back to this beautiful place called the sacred feminine, right? We live in a patriarchal, toxic patriarchy, right? That's called Christianity, right? That's toxic, right? It just is, right? The big white God, the big daddy in the sky, right? Lord, the King of Kings, right? Will forever keep us out of balance, right? But here, we talk about that harmony and balance, right? Father Sky, Mother Earth, living equally, right? Right. Right. The sacred feminine, the water, the sacred masculine, the fire. You see how it's equal? It's not leaning to the left and it's not leaning to the right. It's just we find that harmony and balance, right? So when we say that we are part of Mother Earth, what are we talking about? We're talking about that harmony and balance from the center of the universe. That means we become this beautiful place, this entity that she is. We become that because we already are that. We just have to sit here. We have to has eyes and sees everything. Her heartbeat lives inside us, right? So she hears, feels, understands everything that we see, hear, feel, and understands, right? Now, and that's a core belief. That's a core prayer. Let's start living that beautiful prayer, right? Right? I love you. I love you. Right? We are here to align ourselves with the absolute great beauty. And you know what? Absolute great beauty, it looks like a lot of things. In fact, it looks like every single one of us. there's 24 of us here in this circle here. It looks like every single one of us, every part of Earth has something to offer. You are part of that Earth. So how is it you don't feel like you have something, some beauty and some power to offer Mother Earth? So you're not, so this just got bigger power. So explain, so I have nothing to offer. I have nothing to offer humanity. Well, let's engage that place, right? You have something, you not only have something to offer humanity, you have something to offer Mother Earth. How about that? I want you to think about this. What do you, and let's start thinking about takeaways. We're gonna, what can you offer Mother Earth today? What beauty can you offer Mother Earth today? Right. There's a question. Right. Right. What beauty can you offer Mother Earth today? Right. Right. And there's, I really should do like a little live about the 30-day challenge. I think I will. I think I will later today. I think I'll go have a little breakfast and we'll come back and do like another thing about the 30-day challenge. So the 30-day challenge is, and this is the setup to that question. What can you offer, not only yourself, Mother Earth, the ancestors, the next 7 generations, because we're all those things, right? Right? But the setup to that is introducing ourselves prayerfully, the way the Spirit understands, right? So we want to align ourselves with Mother Earth, the Spirit, the prayer, and everything. And so those of us that are doing the 30-day challenge, which is waking up every morning for 30 days and saying that first prayer, so offering ourselves to that day, being grateful in the way we offer the thing that we offer life is gratitude, right? Thank you for life. Maybe there's some addiction problems. Let's just be grateful that we're waking up. Maybe we're waking up sober. That's even better. Let's wake up sober and be grateful, right? Right. So the 30-day challenge is, let's do that for 30 days. My experience with the 30-day challenge is, back 30 years ago, super clumsy, super, tripped all over, slipped all over the place. But Grandfather Tony said, I want you to do this for 30 days, and then on day 31, I don't want you to do it. So I was really looking forward to not doing it on day 31. So I did my daily prayers and said, God, thank you for this. And it was really clumsy in the beginning. I missed a couple of days, and I said, Tony, what do I do? And I wasn't doing that. I told him I didn't do it. And then I wanted to look good, sound good. He said, well, just make sure you do it. Like he knew, right? Grandfather, like the old ones, they know. I said, well, just make sure you do it every day. And basically telling me, I felt called out. And I'm like, okay, I'll start over. I'll start over. I finally said, you know what? So anyway, I finally got through it took me about 3 months to get through 30 days, but I finally did it, right? It's like laughable now, right? But so anyway, on day 31, I was so excited. It was like I finally accomplished something, right? I was so happy. Just like, oh my God, I can't believe I actually did something. Wow, I really did something, right? So anyway, I said, Grandfather Tony's like, day 31, I'm really excited not to do it. But you know what? The funny thing is, like, I'm feeling like I'm missing something. And, Grandfather Tony, like the old ones, they all have that, like, And he said, go ahead and do it, right? And I said, well, okay. Well, because I felt better with him giving me permission on day 31. And then the obvious question is, like, what do I do now? He said, well, just keep doing it. I'm like, what do you mean keep doing it? I did everything. So anyway, that was like 30 years. That was like 30 years ago. So anyway, so it's still something that I do today. Everything begins with Spirit. And really, that's how we engage. That's like the beginning, right? If everything begins with Spirit, everything begins with prayer, then everything begins with our relationship. And we're here to build a relationship, particularly with the sacred feminine, the very thing that gives us light, love, and power, right? Right. And I got a sneaky suspicion this is something that the colonial world really doesn't want us to do, right? Because they're constantly steering us to this like patriarchal type, type thing, and I'm just like, well, I don't know about that. Let me go with those things that really give me life, right? So we're supposed to give life prayers, right? And let's start off with the 30-day challenge. So, Mother Earth has eyes. Okay. We're finally getting around to the reading. This is all like the preamble, by the way. So, Mother Earth, right? Mother Earth has eyes. That means she has vision. It says eyes and see. So it's telling us. What does that mean, right? There's, let's point this out. There's redundancy here in the first sentence. Whenever Spirit gives us redundancy, right, there's probably a message. That's probably a message they're trying to say, hey, over here, let's pay attention to this right here, right? Because I'm saying it twice in like 2 words, see and eyes, right? Okay, right? 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 What does that mean to you when Mother Earth has eyes and see? Right? Let's just stick with that, right? So there's vision there. We talked about vision yesterday, right? What did we talk about vision, yesterday, right? Right? That we are just built, right? There's some spectrums of the light that we can't see, right? Right? But guess what? Mother Earth is telling us here that, look, there's sight there. If we rely on her, that will give us a better life. That we can share this not only to us, but we can share this, we're supposed to share the vision, right? We're supposed to share what we've seen. And I need you to write that down. We're supposed to share the vision, the dreams of Mother Earth, right? The medicine that is Mother Earth. And I need you to write that down too. The medicine that is Mother Earth, right? Mother Earth has eyes and sees and hears everything, right? Do you think Mother Earth is hearing everything that we're saying right now? Absolutely. Absolutely, right? Does Mother Earth know you're here? Absolutely, right? Does Mother Earth see you here? Absolutely. Does Mother Earth see you emotionally? Yes, absolutely, right? Right? There's nothing that Mother Earth doesn't see. Like if you're feeling sad, and Mother Earth is there to seize that. To help us, to guide us. Just know that, and the other thing is that we are really never truly alone, right? If she is our mother, right? She's motherly. She's both mother and grandmother. I feel very loved when I create and understand that. When I understand that, my life changed, right? Right. There's my biological mother. I met her yesterday. Had a really great time yesterday, and my sister too. So there's that beautiful thing also. And this is just a different kind of like a grandmotherly love, just knowing that she is offering me life today, right? Did you know that that the Earth Mother is offering your life today, right? This beautiful, powerful place, right? It doesn't have to be the way it's always been. She understands, she knows, right? And she hears everything. So she hears and sees your heart, right? She understands what you're going through. She's begging for a relationship with that woman. She wants to love us and nurture us. So let us allow her to do that. But if we don't have a relationship with her, then how do we understand to know to go to her, right? Go to her, waters. Like that's a very healing place. Go to her fires. That's a really beautiful, powerful place. Offer yourself to that fire. A sweat lodge ceremony, and it has both, right? That's why we as indigenous, we were gifted that ceremony because it does what? It creates life, right? It creates life. It creates a different life. It creates that beautiful healing. It creates that nurturing, the blooming thing. It allows us to bloom like the flowers that we are, right? That's because I love to feel loved. I love to feel taken care of. Coming from my history and my trauma, it's just like, I'm just like drinking. I'm incarcerated. All this, hospitalizations and all this. And one day, I just realized that, hey, look, I don't have to do this anymore. That there's another thing over here that absolutely loves me and takes care of me. And all I have to do is make an offering, acknowledge, walk the way she has, offered this, right? Offered the way of life in the seven sacred teachings. And again, that's just the beginning. But there's a lot there, walking with humility. But after we walk with it, that's the way of Mother Earth, right? Right? Walking with it is beautiful because she hears and sees everything, right? Her heartbeat lives inside us, right? Right. Right. Let's think about this. Her heartbeat lives inside us. So, Mother Earth's heartbeat, our own mother, the ancestors, and our heartbeat, all the same thing. Right? All those four directions, they mirror each other, right? Right. It's not a two-dimensional thing; it's a four-dimensional thing. And then what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to share, we're supposed to love that heartbeat and offer that heartbeat to what, the next seven generations. Right? Right. This is a long conversation. I'll never get through this in 2 minutes. Just we have like 2 minutes left. No, you know. So, you know, Mother Earth has a beautiful history, right? A beautiful, beautiful history. Been around for. Let's just take a run. Let's just take a different angle. So she's like 4.7 billion years old. What do we really know? Right? There's a lot of experience there. There's a lot of life, and all those things have lived before. They are part of our ancestry and here to help us live a good life. Right? Right? Not in some patriarchal religious way, but in some beautiful alignment way. Right? Let's align ourselves. Right? And let's take a look at this too. God, this is a big conversation. So, Mother Earth is also part of that first prayer at the center of the universe, right? Because we know that the universe is much bigger than Mother Earth, and this is not a hierarchy thing. This is just part of that big beautiful circle that that we live in. Okay, so oh. Mother Earth, we are in Mother Earth's heart. But in your heart is Mother Earth in your heart. I think that's the question right there. Is Mother Earth in your heart? Can you walk the way of Mother? Can you walk the way of harmony and balance? Can you walk away with holding, the water and the fire equally, right? 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 Can you be that beautiful place that promotes all life, right? That's the prayer. She understands touch, right? Can you spiritually touch that place, right? Can you, she has feelings, right? Right? What are your feelings for Mother Earth, right? She has feelings for you. Again, these are questions that mirror each other. What we do, what we're doing here is a beautiful way. When this hour right here, this hour-ish right here, we're going to run over it for a minute, but what we're doing here, again, we are changing the world by what we are doing right here, right now. Right? Just know that at the center of the universe knows what we are doing right here. Right? Just know that that's beautiful. It's called, the colonials call it some sort of like quantum mechanics or entanglement or something like that. Just like, well, I don't know about that, right? I do a lot of reading about that, and they label all these things, but really, what it is, it's not entanglement, it's alignment, right? That's what that is, and this is what we all look like from the center of the universe to right here, right? This is what it looks linearly, and this is what it looks like this, right? Right? I don't know about quantum entanglement, what I know about alignment, and I want to align myself with you, with every single one of you out there, with Shelley, Ziva, everyone, Monica, right? right? Every single, like Kimberly, like, I want to align my heart with yours, right? That means I want you to live, your best life, right? Right. Like how can I live my best life without you? You know, Mother Earth, right? How can I live my best life without you? Right? Well, I can't, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, this is a really huge, really huge. She serves as an avenue of reflection for personal growth. She's, you know, let's align ourselves with personal growth, with our personal growth. Again. All right. I don't think we'll read this one more time. This is such a big conversation. I mean, I could be here for the next hour, talking about this. But okay, wishes from the Hollow Bone, June 25th. Mother Earth has eyes and sees, hears everything. Her heartbeat lives inside us. Right? We could spend an hour just on that, inside us, right? Spiritually, right? She understands touch, right? Touching a tree, right? Saying thank you, just to being thankful for life. Touch that, right? Write that down. Touch that. How have you touched life today, right? She understands touch, has feelings and dreams. Oh my God, dreams. We don't even talk about dreams. That means imagination, right? That means she has that Mother Earth has so much beauty and so much imagination. It just, it's a beautiful place of creativity, and we live in a world that diminishes that, right? So that colonial world diminishes and everything they do, right? Everything they do, they try to take that away, and that's not a good or bad thing. That's just contrast medicine, right there, night and day. So the colonial world is like a night thing, and then like the living world, what we're doing over here, it has creativity, it has imagination, right? you know Imagine this. Mother Earth has beautiful dreams. What Can't write this down. What is Mother Earth's dreams for you, right? Pops asked me that once, and I still haven't come up with I still haven't come up with that was like 25 years ago. I'm like, I don't know, Pops. I don't know. Probably living a really good, beautiful, powerful life, right? Which is what we have now, which is part of what I'm sharing with you. Has dreams. She is an extension of us. Again, us and we, right? Right? Us and we. And so we're back to that conversation. This is what us and we. This is what Mother Earth and us look like right here, by the way. If you don't know that. This is what Mother Earth and us both seem. Okay, so anyway. I'm a little disappointed we have to kind of shut it down right now, but we're going to shut it down. Let us use that last imagination thing. Let's use that right now. And just kind of close your eyes as we ground with Mother Earth, the Standing Nation Medicine right here. And let us use that imagination. What does Mother Earth want for you today? And you can share that too. Maybe that be your kind of, one of you said, keep reminding the people. I love it the way you say takeaway, right? What is your takeaway today? So thank you for that. That's a suggestion from you guys. So what would your takeaway today? And my suggestion would be some sort of creativity. Let's use our imagination here. Let's really have fun with that. Anyway, kind of had to wrap this up. I'm really sorry about that. But anyway, let's actually we got one announcement here, so let's go over this announcement before we shut it out. One announcement is Journey Through the Season. That's the final one in this year. We started in winter, so we're going to finish up in the fall. Journey Through the Season workshop is integrating all the traditions from around the world. So Denise Miller and myself. We go over it. It's a really intense weekend. It's beautiful. It's powerful. If you're interested, please get with me or Denise Miller. We do that together. This is coming up September 22nd through the 24th. So if you're interested in that, we had a great time a couple weeks ago when we did that. So, okay, the final word is this ceremony may end, but a ceremony in you does not end. So let's take what we lives here, loves here, and learns here, and listen to here, and take it out to the four winds. Does us no good to be all spiritual here. So let's really connect to this beautiful thing called Mother Earth today. We really talked about that. Let's forgive the elders. Let's do all those beautiful things. So my name is Kanipa Whitmack. Stand you bear. If no one said that, they love you today. I love you very much. Let's have a great day.